Hi. In this video, we'll configure a simple static route between 4 different routers. So let's get started on that. Here we have 2 different networks and 3 routers, 0, 1, and 2. All the IP addresses have been already assigned and all the interfaces are up and running. So the command for assigning static IP address or static IP route, is IP route followed by the network address and its subnet mask and the first hop it needs to take. We'll start from router 0. For that we gotta go into configure terminal. Yeah, so the command is IP route. What's the address we want to configure it to? That's this one. That's the network address. So it will be 192.168.20.0 and its subnet mask is 24, which would be 255.255.255.0. And the first hop it needs to take, that would be this. It should be 192.168.10.2. So that is configured. Now we can send the packets from here to there, but for a successful ping, we need to do the same thing on router 2 as well, because it's going to go from there and it won't be able to come back because this one has no idea where to send the packets to. Let's go into the router 2, enable, configure terminal. It's going to be the same command. That's IP route. Look at the network address, that is this, 192.168.10.0, and its subnet mask is the same, 255.255.255.0, and the first hop it needs to take is this. So that would be 192.168.20.1. So that one is also configured. Let's go ahead and do a simple ping to verify what we have done is working. Go end, that will take us back to the privileged access mode. Run the command ping. For this side, that would be 192.168.20.2. That is successful. Let's do it again from this one. Run the command end, that will take us to privileged access mode, and running the command ping 192.168.10.1. That is successful. So this is pretty easier if you're doing it between 3 routers. But what if we bring in another one? There we go. We got another router. It's router 3. This will be in a completely different network. Right now, router 0 knows about 1 and 2, but it has no idea about router 3. So when we, if you have to configure it from 0 to 3, the static route, we got to tell it about this address. And again, it's going to be pretty much simple. It's like go with the command IP route, this network address, followed by its subnet mask, and the first hop it needs to take. So that itself is not going to solve the problem because it's going to send the packets and it will reach here. And router 1 has no idea about router 3's network. So we got to run the same command over here as well. So that will be just one way. And if for a successful ping, we got to do the same thing for router 3. Teach it about this network and that network. And that should be a successful IP route. Let's go ahead and start on that. Go to router 0. We're going into the configure terminal mode. Same command, IP route. So the network address for this is 192.168.30.0. followed by its subnet mask 255.255.255.0. And again, the first hop it needs to take, which would be this 168.10.2. And let's do the same thing on router 1. We're teaching it about this particular network. Go to enable, configure terminal, do the same command, IP address 192.168. It's a 30 address, 30.0, 255.255.255.0. And the first hop it needs to take in order to reach there would be this 192.168.20.2. So we configured it one way, but we got to do the same thing the other way because router 3 has no idea about any of these networks. So let's start with the first one, teaching about this particular network. Go to router 3, same enable mode, configure terminal, running the command IP route 192.168.20.0. Get subnet mask 255.255.255.0. So talking about this network, if it wants to go from here to there, it needs to take the first hop, which would be this 30.1 2.168.30.1. Perfect. Now it knows about the neighboring network, but it doesn't know about this one. So that would be another command, IP route, going to this network, 192.168.10.0, same subnet mask. And the first hop would be the same, 192.168.30.1. Now that is configured as well. We should be able to ping from router 0 to router 3. Let's go back to the privileged access mode. Now that we're here, let's try to ping this IP 192.168.30.2. That is successful. So now that you have seen it's too many configurations, there is a high chance of a human error. That's why it's good for smaller networks, but the moment it gets bigger than a few routers, it just gets a little more complicated and there's a higher chance for any human error. So that's where dynamic routing protocols comes into the picture. And let's talk about that in the next video. Let's configure OSPF.